Okay, what's up, squad? So we are here for another segment. We are going to be talking about two critical components for your timeline. And so if you are a service-based provider and you provide timelines and services to brands, you need to know this. And if you are a product-based business, you also need to know these things with creation of your products because that is a project. So make sure you tune in so we can definitely talk about it. So we are back for another segment for us to talk about two critical components for your timeline. And you're in for a treat because it's really two essential aspects for any timeline that you need to have with creating your products and services and more. So with that being said, allow me to introduce myself. So my name is Megan Young Gamble. I am known as the Project Execution Her and Principal Consultant at Get Level Consulting. And we are a boutique operations management firm that provides packaging solutions and project management consultancy to personal care brands in the health, beauty, wellness, and similar industries, where we help pimp your packaging from conception to distribution to your retail shelf. So whether that's e-commerce or through a brick and mortar retailer. And so with our Pimp Your Packaging framework, we help execute your concept with ease, using our 4-phase approach where we help plan, implement, monitor, and help you prepare for your launch with the packaging and project management focus. So we're excited to be kicking this off to talk about the two critical components of your timeline. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the first thing I want to say for your critical component for your timeline is what are the tasks? So with creating a product, a lot of times people have the misconception that you build these out in silos or individually in your own bubble. And you cannot, because there's a lot of things you have to consider with creating your product. And so for instance, if I am creating, just say, a new skincare serum, am I creating it in my home lab, my home kitchen, a commercial kitchen where I have to rent space, or am I utilizing a small batch manufacturer or a contract manufacturer, depending upon my quantities? And so understanding that is important to then know how it's going to set the tone for rest of the projects and rest of the tasks that are going to be required. So because if I know that, I'm then able to say, well, if I'm creating my skincare serum starting at just say 5,000 pieces, then I need to go to a contract manufacturer to do that for me based upon my formulation, in my ingredient profiles I want to have, where it's going to be launching at, and more in the respective market as my finished good product. And so 5,000 pieces, I do not have the capabilities to do that all by myself. So therefore, I need a contract manufacturer to help me do that aspect of the task for my product. So seeing how all of that relates is important because everything you do leads up to creating your finished good product. Okay. And so what are the tasks that are required to execute your project? So this is the same thing for creation of your products. You have to still treat it as a project. It is a duration of time from start to finish. And so understanding that you need to encompass that into your timeline to then know what task you are going to execute. So I want to say one thing as well. There is a difference between task and an activity. And my project managers know this, but there is a difference of a task and activity. And so we're going to talk about it. And so task is really carrying out existing resources and steps that is or provided to you as pre-work. So for instance, if I am going to work with that contract manufacturer to create my skincare serum with 5,000 pieces, right? I have to undergo testing once I have my formula approved with the contract manufacturer. I have to go through testing, perform testing, then I have to conduct a line trial, then I have to get pre-production samples, and then I have to go into mass production. So I know what the steps are and what systems I need to utilize for the respective task, right? And so with an activity, these are distinct and scheduled portions of work of that task. And so if I am going back to my example, the skincare serum at 5,000 pieces with the contract manufacturer, I have approved my formula. So then remember, the task is I have to perform testing. So the activities of testing will encompass stability testing, and then it has its sub activities from there. And packaging compatibility testing, also referenced as PCT, which is then may have its respective sub-activities under that. Then I may have to perform preservative efficacy testing and its sub-activities under that. And so understanding where my product is going to be launched, where is it going, direct to consumer, e-commerce, or omni-channel approach, direct to retailer, or what have you, you need to know these things so you can then have the right tasks and activities to go with that. Okay, so we talked about the first critical component of your timeline, which is task. And I even gave you a little bonus in there too, to talk about activities and giving you an example with that as well. And so the second critical component for your timeline is understanding what is the lead time. And so when I work with indie and startup brands and I ask them, what is the lead time? Do you know what the lead time is? And also consulting them on the questions to be asking suppliers as well. This is one of the essential questions, and you need to be able to speak the terminology out here in these packaging and product development streets, pretty much. And so with the lead time, that is pretty much a duration of time from start to finish. Okay, and so understanding that is really critical to know, because that then helps you set the tone of what are the respective tasks that are necessary to build out my full timeline from start to finish. And then I'm starting to look at the sequence of tasks for the longest sequence of tasks for my project, which is known as the critical path. And then knowing that and having the duration of time from start to finish is my lead time for creating my product. So then I'm able to gauge when I'll be able to launch in the marketplace, when my actual formulation, how long did it take for that? How long is my testing phase? How long will the line trial be conducted for? How long is it for pre-production samples? How long is it for mass production? And how long do I need to account for shipping? And then also order fulfillment, and then getting it, to the final destination, the last mile. So understanding those things is important. So I just shared with you two critical components you need to know for your timeline, which number one, we talked about tasks. And we also talked about a bonus in there, which was activities, knowing the difference between tasks and activities. And then the second critical component, which is the lead time, the duration of time from start to finish. And so understanding that we can get more technical with just the lead times, because in project management, we have different ways that we calculate our time from a scheduling perspective, from start to finish, finish to finish, finish start, and start. So those are different things that you can check out right here on the YouTube channel, where we'll be discussing those more in depth and what each of those mean as well. So make sure you do go check out those videos and such, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought about these two critical components needed for your timeline down below, and how this will help you in your respective pursuits. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and make sure you don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification to get the notification of when we drop these new videos right here on the YouTube channel. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.